What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me right here at my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. And right now, let's go ahead and talk about Loki Season 1. And yes, it's Loki Season 1 because it has been confirmed that we are going to get a Season 2 of Loki. Loki started out really interesting. The first two episodes were definitely piqued my interest. I liked the route that they were taking with it, where it was like a character study of Loki, a self-reflective, who am I type story. And more than that, it was a let's analyze and question the world around us type show. Everybody in this world is raised with some sort of reality that is presented to them. That can be a Christian reality, a Muslim reality, a reality based around Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, atheism. Everybody has an ism, right? Everybody is raised with some sort of ism. And, what's really interesting is when you grow up, you kind of analyze your ism and you wonder, you start to really analyze and question your ism and kind of question your reality and also come to terms with your reality. I've always been open on this channel about the fact that I am personally a Christian. I was raised as a Christian. There was a point in my life where I kind of stepped away from the Christian lifestyle, because there was a point in my life where I was really kind of questioning faith and questioning the world that had been presented to me. I was, younger. I was in my early 20s when I did that. Eventually, I kind of developed my own worldview that was not identical to the one of my parents. And when I developed my own worldview that wasn't identical to the one of my parents, I did come back to Christianity. So that being said, it's similar to the one of my parents, but it's not identical. I did develop kind of my own worldview and develop my own beliefs as a young man, as a young independent man. But, you always kind of got to question, if I had been born in the Middle East, it's the same exact person, but if I had been born and raised in the Middle East, what would my ism be then? And would I eventually question that reality and come to Christianity, or would I have just accepted my reality and stayed in whatever ism I was raised in? It's a fascinating conversation. It's a conversation about free will. It's a conversation about predetermination. It's a question about if there isn't free will and there is predetermination, then is the one who is predetermining, be it God or in this show, the timekeeper, is he truly benevolent? Or is there ulterior motives? I mean, it is a fascinating philosophical conversation that we could spend weeks talking about it. And it truly is fascinating. Now, like I said, I have developed my own worldview. I am a Christian, and I'm at the point in my life where there's nothing that's really going to shake that faith. But that does not mean that I'm still not fascinated by these conversations where we talk about predetermination, predestination, free will, and isms. Questioning the reality that's been presented to us. I think it's fascinating. And Loki definitely brought that conversation to the table. So that was when Loki was at its best. When it was asking these philosophical questions. And sometimes maybe answering it, providing some answers, but other times kind of leaving it open-ended for interpretation. That was when I thought Loki was at its best, because the middle part of Loki for me really drug. I gotta be honest, guys. I did not find, episode 3, episode 4, I did not find them to be particularly good episodes. I was, they were very slow and a little bit unentertaining. But it picked up at the end. It picked up very well at the end. Started asking some more of those questions that I was fascinated by, but at the same time, also leaning into the Marvel lore that all of us comic book nerds are very familiar with. Loved having the introduction of Kang the Conqueror, and I loved the idea behind what happens when this person that we believe may not be benevolent. What happens if we take him off the playing board? What happens then? Is there a greater evil, or is sometimes the greater good accomplished through unpleasantries? So I definitely found all of that to be very fascinating as well. I wasn't particularly fascinated by the multiple variant Lokis, as some people were. Found some of that to be a little corny, a little I don't know, cliche. I think that everybody who's I think when you have science fiction fans, we've all seen movies and TV shows that deal with alternate realities and alternate versions of people, and I think that we've seen it done better. But this was also an opportunity to really do some classic comic stuff and not have it be ingrained into the main MCU reality. So that was also kind of fun to watch. Like I said, for me, Loki was at its best when it was asking major philosophical questions, and that was when I enjoyed it the most. I wasn't entirely satisfied by the ending. It kind of just stopped. Now I know that this and WandaVision are our major jumping off point for bigger things in the MCU. That's going to go into Spider-Man No Way Home. It's going to go into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Loki Season 2, and Ant-Man Quantumania. I know that. So I'm not horribly frustrated by it. I'd have just liked to have gotten a little bit more than they gave us. But at the same time, these shows want to leave their audience wanting more, and I definitely want more. So while Loki wasn't my favorite Disney Plus MCU show, I definitely want to see more of it than I want to see more of Captain America or more of WandaVision. I'd want to see more of Loki, simply because of how they left us off. So, yeah, his relationship with Sylvie, it wasn't my favorite point. I thought that was a little bit odd. But the arc that Loki had in this series and where we left him off and where we're going from here is very fascinating and very interesting. Owen Wilson, got to give him props. He was great in this show. And, everybody in the supporting cast kind of did a great job. Jonathan Majors as Kang, not what I was expecting. Definitely not what I was expecting. But at the same time, he was just one of what is going to probably end up being multiple versions of Kang. And even though his methods did not always appear to be good, I think that we're going to learn that he was the good. He was the lesser of the evils as far as Kang the Conqueror was concerned. And I could be way off base on that, but that's kind of how I feel about it right now. So I liked it. I liked the Loki series. I thought it was well done. It really dragged in the middle a lot. I felt like there was some filler stuff in the middle that did not have to be there, but the beginning and the end was fantastic. And like I said, it was best when it was asking big questions. So that's how I feel about Loki. If I were to give Loki season 1 a grade, I would give it a B. It was a solid first season. Drug a little bit, but nothing that nothing that made me drown. It drug me down, but I was able to swim my way back to the top and enjoy it. So that's kind of how I feel about it. So what did you think of Loki Season 1? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your take on it. While you're down there commenting, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out a lot of content, and I want to make sure that you're up to date with everything that I'm doing. And as always, thank you so much for joining me right here at the Geeky Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. Until next time, We'll see you guys later.